With the off-season workouts wrapping up late last week, and the team and all the NFL is on a month break, would you believe that there are many analysts that see the Kansas City Chiefs as the would it be? Would you believe that many analysts still believe that the Kansas City Chiefs are the favorites to three-peat in 24 and 25?
I don't believe anything.
Well, believe it. And I'll give you a couple of reasons why they may be correct. Stay tuned to find out on Gridiron Gab Pro Style. Welcome back, you guys. Thank you for spending some time with us on Gridiron Gab Pro Style. Of course, I am Mr. CeeLo. Thank you for being here as always. Well, it's been kind of quiet, and I've been gone for a little while, you guys, so I can't blame you for not showing up and showing out. But hey, listen, I'm about to get back on it. We have a lot of things to discuss, and we're gonna get right to it. And the first thing we got to get to is the one and only Kansas City Chiefs. Now, there are many sports writers out there that believe that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to go to the Super Bowl yet again. Myself, however, am neither going to say yay or nay as of yet. But on this show, we're going to talk about the ways and the reasons the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be able to make NFL history in three-peat. Probably the one that many people are not paying much attention to, and I'm going to do a show on this, is of course Xavier Worthy. To me, he's the number one reason. And I will always wonder, when Buffalo does not win a Super Bowl with Josh Allen, it will go back to this. We all know that Patrick Mahomes last year really had issues trying to get the ball down the field. And that has always been one of his strengths when he has been in the league, is being able to push the ball down the field. Over the last 2 to 3, I would say even 3 to 4 seasons, he's had to adjust his game and learn to dink and dunk, Tom Brady style, and figure out ways to get the ball into the end zone without the chunk plays. Now, I heard one analyst say that Hollywood Brown, now I'm going to allude to him, I'm going to speak of him shortly. But to me, Xavier Worthy is scarier than Hollywood Brown. And the thing is, when you're dealing with a guy that not only is the fastest combine time ever, but he comes from a style of offense where they run it and then throw it deep. Now he comes to a team where it looks raw. His ability is raw. And it really is not. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do a show on why Buffalo did and give you all the details of how this absolutely just ruined any opportunity and why it did. And Xavier Worthy presents a level to this offense that you just did not want to give. He is Tyreek Hill 2.0. Now, people are going to look at him and say, well, he's a $170. a shade under buck 70, and Tyreek Hill's a little bit bigger. But the thing is, Tyreek Hill wasn't super big when he came into the National Football League. You look at where he is now. He had to bulk up, people. He had to bulk up to get where he is. And the reality of it is, I can talk about this whole Xavier Worthy thing as that being the trump card for the Kansas City Chiefs in 24-25 all day, because the reality of it is, you don't realize how scary good Xavier Worthy can be until he gets on the field. And this is going to be a breath of fresh air for Patrick Mahomes, because the reality of it is he hadn't been able to unleash that rocket of his in a couple of seasons. We've seen shades of it, but not like this. This is going to be a situation where if the safety snoozes, you're in trouble, because you got two guys on that side that can beat you deep. Which leads me to Hollywood Brown. Now, there was a lot of beef between Hollywood Brown and the Baltimore Ravens when he left and wanted out. Well, let's face it. And I'm going to talk about this. And you guys know how I feel about Lamar Jackson.
Game over.
Fact remains that this guy is just as scary as Xavier Worthy. Now, he's not as scary, but he's scary because he can get down the field. This is where I say to many people, you get two fast guys like this, and
Perfect.
Mahomes has time,
Ultimate combo.
which we'll get to in a minute. But what really just absolutely blew my mind is not only did they get Hollywood Brown, but then they turned around and they took Xavier Worthy in the first round.
Game over. Ultra combo.
Now they did lose a couple of pieces, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the rundown on this. The Kansas City Chiefs were not the best team last year, you guys.
You don't get it, do you? Why don't you explain it to me?
Shut up, shithead.
No, I'm afraid I'm going to have to know a little bit more than that.
The Kansas City Chiefs were by far not the best team. Now, everybody's going to say, well, they won the Super Bowl. We know that, duh. We can look at the Super Bowl game, the Super Bowl and tell. That was obvious. But let's look at how this football team was able to muster up some of the things they did. Now, they did lose Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who's deceptively fast. And they lost Mike Edwards, who's not a critical piece, but a key piece. And I'm just going to be honest with you. You know, then you add a guy like Irv Smith. To me, by far, they did lose Willie Gay. But I'm going to be just straight up honest to you. And, of course, Ladarius Sneed. To me, that was a huge surprise. But then again, you look at the cap situation, and it's kind of understood why. But then again, you go back to looking at what this team got in return. I mean, we're looking at this, and you have to look at this and say to yourself, what really did we get here? What did we get right here? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. The crazy idea that this team was able to snag what they snagged in the draft with, to me, the snag of this entire offseason was Xavier Worthy. Now, we can talk about Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, but that wasn't the snag of the offseason for Kansas City. Because we all knew what? The Kansas City Chiefs, two weaknesses, and you really couldn't say it was a real bad weakness. You really had to catch them on the right night, because they've done a great job. Spags has done a great job in learning how to stop the run. But it was still a weakness on certain nights. And the reality of it is, nobody really exploited that. Now I will say this. Do I think this year could be different? It's going to have to be different. Because now, it's funny to me, because what's funny to me is you watch this team, and what's really weird is this team was a defensive, I don't want to say a juggernaut, but they were really good on defense. Their numbers were not Kansas City like. Last year, Mahomes was asked to do something that he has not done since his rookie year, which was manage the game. Now you're asking him, all right, everybody done fell asleep on you now. Now it's time to ramp it back up again. And this is, to me, this is beautiful by Andy Reid. It's like he gave Patrick Mahomes, he's basically telling him, look, don't force it. And this is almost what you could see. Reid went into coaching mode. He basically went into, hey, we're not going to win games by blowing people out. We're going to win games by methodically hanging in the games, and then we're going to allow you to work your magic in these 2-minute offenses. And they worked. Anybody that watched the Super Bowl and the AFC title game, or even the Miami game, they were domination on defensive side of the ball, not necessarily offense. However, losing L'Jarius Sneed is huge. This is huge because he was the epitome of a lockdown corner. Now, they did sign Chris Jones back to a pretty much a walk him out the door into Canton type deal. And the other aspect of it is you still keep a lot of that. What's really deceptive about the Kansas City Chiefs is they have a deceptively really good roster when you look at the front. When you look at their front is really deceptively good. They have a really strong defensive line, and when you start looking at the depth that they have, such as, well, you know, Chris Jones is like a hybrid, and you got Mike Dana, and you got George Karlaftis and Felix Uzama, who has yet to reach his potential. But I'm gonna tell you, when this guy hits where he's going, this is going to be something. And then, of course, you got Drew Tranquil, Trent McDuffie. These guys are great. These guys are really good. Excuse me, you got Trent McDuffie at the left corner, and Justin Reed signing in free agency. And then you got Jalen Watson, who's, in my opinion, is going to be the guy they're going to try to pick on, but pick on him all you want. He was not bad last year. I mean, he's 6'2". That's the thing. And I'm going to be honest with you, with the way Spags is going to try to play this thing, I'm not going to say that their defense is going to be elite, but you're going to go back to seeing that high-powered KC offense now. You really had a season and a half off from it. And really, this is going to be the easiest shot for me as far as Kansas City winning the ring, because right now, I mean, I'm going to be straight honest with all of you. With Xavier Worthy, you talking about, look, you got 4 speed guys in this. You got Marquise Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, then you got Miko Hardman and Kadarius Toney. All these guys are speed guys. And that's not including what may happen with Rashee Rice, but then you got Justin Watson and Sky Moore. And everybody's not, talking about Noah Gray backing up Travis Kelce. Irv Smith's going to be on the field. They've got some legit offensive firepower now. I tell you, this is, you don't want to say go ahead and wrap it up and give it to them. But this is going to be a season that if the Chiefs lose it, there's only 3 teams that I see doing it to them. Well, I could say 4 now. And I'll tell you who those are on another show. But as I said, you guys, the Kansas City Chiefs look like they are ready to three-peat. And as I said, if they are able to get the ball down the field, to me, the only issue that they're going to have is being able, as I've said many times before, is stopping the run and not getting pressure. But Spags has been very good at being able to send exotic blitzes that confuse many offenses and not getting a lot of time to throw the football. But I will say this, it's going to be predicated on whether Isaiah Pacheco and Clyde Edwards-Helaire can create space in the running game. And what I mean by that is when you get guys like Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown that are just killing it down the field, you got to be able to run the football some. And that's going to be decisive if Andy Reid is understanding when and when not to run the football. You're going to see a lot of draws and a lot of screens this year. So if Andy Reid is able to call the plays in the right spot, which he's done so well in the last several years with Patrick Mahomes, I'm not a Kansas City fan, but I hate to say it, but they're going to win their third. As I said, you guys, hit me down in the link. Hit me down in the comments. Let me know what you think about what I believe are the keys to Kansas City winning a third ring. And let me know if you agree and if there's other things that I missed. Also, go to the Gridiron Gab Pro Style Facebook page and also hit me up on Instagram on Mr. CeeLo. Let me know if there's any other things you want me to go into or talk about. But until the next time, till we meet again, same Gab channel, same Gab platform.
But behold, there is a warm breeze that comes from the west. The blazing sounds of victory fuel their everlasting quest. It is a call to arms, for they are here. An army that has the will to challenge and the will to dare.